Hello and welcome to today's video, and in this particular series I am hoping to repair my Sony SLF1UB Betamax video recorder. I've owned this particular unit for 22 years. I last used it approximately 20 years ago, and when I last used it, it was in working order. It would power up and it would do everything that you'd want it to do. So for this particular unit I've got the TTF1UB, which is the item I'm undoing and taking apart here, and it is this that is experiencing the issues. At the moment it is completely dead. I initially traced this to a missing 1.6 amp fuse on the mains filter board, which is at the back of the machine, and after I replaced that, the unit was still dead. So something says to me that, and I can't remember it failing when in use, but something says to me that I either borrowed the fuse for something else, or, and is more likely, I put the unit away because it was no longer working. So I've done a bit of investigation, and the section that I was looking at, that's the tuner section there, so that obviously is the tuner module. Underneath that there is a board that has a couple of large backup batteries on it, and I think that is all of the logic for the timer and the the vacuum fluorescent display on the front of the unit. The large section in the middle is actually the power supply module. It's quite nicely shielded from everything, and it is going to be that particular module I'm going to be focusing my attention on. There is a large heatsink that you can see to the left there, and from what I understand there are a couple of transistors which are attached to that. There are a couple of capacitors that I have been advised can cause problems, and also a couple of transistors which can also cause issues, and a particular diode which can also cause problems as well. I managed to find this information from the technical section of the PALsite website, specifically the section relating to the Sony F1 video recorder. So in the next episode I'm going to be taking out this particular power supply module, taking it apart and checking out the values of those capacitors. If I've got any in stock in my collection of capacitors, I will replace them immediately. If I don't, I'll have to get some ordered in, but I'm going to be starting with certainly with the easy option, which is replacing the capacitors, and if I need to replace those transistors I will do so at a later point, but I will need to also get some heat transfer paste as well. So a little bit about the F1 in general. Very high end for its day, portable and also home based, could be powered off a battery, could have one of the Sony Trinicon cameras attached to it through the K connector. Also had a direct drive transport, so there are individual motors for the take up and rewind spool, individual motors for capstan, head, etc. So it had a very good, very slick transport for the day. The same transport was also used in Sony's excellent SLC9UB. Examples of these, there are quite a few left because a lot of them were used by universities and educational establishments, so there do seem to be a fair number of them left. It was also one of the first video recorders that could use a pulse code modulation module, or PCM module, which would actually use the video heads to record CD quality sound onto videotape. There were a couple of VHS implementations of this, but this was the first to market. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.